Vipers Nation, get ready for the final stretch of the 2020 NFL regular season. Albuquerque, just like a year ago, has 4 straight away games, and it's going to start against the playoff hopeful Buffalo Bills. For one last time this season, we are going to be spinning the COVID wheel, and it looks like we're not going to have any right tackles against this AFC East foe, which means Cody Watson is going to be out, as well as his backup Jerry Shields. They're both going to be quarantined, meaning rookie left tackle Reggie Bowman will be getting his first ever NFL start. The Vipers are not going to be 100% healthy in today's game either, as Orlando Cross exited last week's game with a little bit of an injury. He is going to be questionable. Buffalo missing 2 key pieces on offense for the entire season. Bill Sanders, their star running back, will also not be playing in today's game. After a loss at the end of last week's episode against the New England Patriots, who were just 1-10 at the time, Ron Coyle, our rookie quarterback, spoke out in the media saying that he should get a start, and if that's not the first time this thing has happened in Albuquerque, we're going to have to see what the future holds for the young quarterback. Here are the Buffalo Bills, led by Shannon Pleasant. Of course, him and Orlando Cross are tied at the hip. They were both drafted in the first round all the way back in 2007. Many members of the media predicting us to actually draft Shannon Pleasant. Of course, he ended up going to the Texans, bouncing around the league to the Redskins as well, and now on the Buffalo Bills. 3rd down and 7, and down goes Shannon Pleasant, but there's a flag on the play. Mark Scott, the former Buffalo Bill corner who had the sack on the play, brought down Pleasant by the face mask, and that's going to extend this Buffalo drive and give them a second chance. 3rd down and 4 again. Quick throw over the middle is going to be caught by Lomas Warble, and that's going to get them onto Albuquerque's side of the field. Pleasant has all day in the pocket to throw, launching this one downfield, and that's going to be caught by Danny Bender. Despite 3 defenders around him, he's in for the score. Orlando Cross, I don't think he's going to be winning an MVP this season, but it's not the worst year that he's been having. He's going to hand this one off to Deron Daniels, pulls out the stiff arm, and picks up a quick Vipers first down. Daniels, he wants to hit that 1,000-yard mark, but he's going to have nearly 500 yards in just today's episode. He's not going anywhere right there. He's going to make it 2nd down and 9. And if you missed it at the end of the last episode, we have now broken out the vision cone for the first time in 5 years, and it works out for a big gain right there. Now Cross going for it all, and if he leads that a bit more to the left side of the field, Jimmy Andrews might have had 6. Instead, we're going to go to the ground, and Craig Roberts coughs up the football. Buffalo jumps on top of it, and the second-year running back is limping off of the field with a bruised elbow, it looks like, but he will return to the game shortly. Pleasant under pressure, and he goes down on 3rd down. That's Daryl Fannin forcing the 3 and out. Good field position on the next Albuquerque drive now. Deron Daniels to the left side of the field, gets across the 50 into Buffalo territory. Faking the give to him now. Cross rolls to his right, and he's got Darius Floyd, the veteran receiver there, moves the chains. Daniels on a carry to the left side of the field now, cuts it back inside, and that's going to pick up 6. Give it to him again. He's going to bounce this one to the right side of the field, gets away from the first contact, and brought down at the 30. Faced with a 3rd down and 7, Orlando Cross wants to throw for the conversion, and he's just lucky that one wasn't intercepted, trying to force it out to Brian Moore. Instead, Brian Koch is out here for a 44-yard field goal attempt. That's going to put the Vipers on the board now. Draw play for the backup running back there. Jabari Henley picks up 4. On 3rd down, it's going to be another draw for Henley, breaking out of some of the initial contact there, but still shy of that 1st down marker. That forces another Buffalo punt, so now Albuquerque has the football again. Daniels gets wrecked in the backfield right there. Big loss of 3. 2nd down and long. Deron Daniels on the reception on the Texas route over the middle makes this 3rd down a lot more manageable. 8 yards to go. Cross has time, but eventually it does expire. Sacked on the play by Paul Parker, the star defensive tackle. He's actually the only defensive tackle, I believe, in the entire NFL rated above Daryl Fannin. Somehow, Danny Bender comes down with that reception here at the 50-yard line, and Pleasant, who delivered that dot to him, is grabbing at his throwing arm. That is not something you want to see, meaning Marcus Brooks, the rookie out of Duke, taken in the 4th round, is getting some of his first NFL action, and he's immediately going to be sacked. Triple J Jones right there making a big play, and it looks like it's going to be all Brooks today as Shannon Pleasant's out for the remainder of this contest. Intercepted on the play. Justin Williams is going to hit this across the 50-yard line. Welcome to the NFL. Great field position right now, but we're going to be going backwards 5 yards. Delay of game on Orlando Cross. Now sending some heat. The blitz is going to be picked up, and Lewis is off to the races, but he is easily caught from behind. He's one of the biggest tight ends in the league, but he's also one of the slowest. Deron Daniels going right up the middle on that carry. 7-yard gain on the play. Quick throw now, looking for the corner, and just out of reach for Andrews. That's going to make it 3rd down. Daniels on the toss after faking the fullback give. He's going to be going down in the backfield. Loss of 3 on the play, meaning we're going to have to settle for another Brian Koch field goal. Back on the field now is Buffalo's offense. How does Marcus Brooks, the rookie from Duke, handle it? By nearly throwing an interception to Tommy Wynn. 2nd down and 10, offset I formation, faking the give, and this time it is going to be intercepted. Jerry Gray on the return. The 2nd-year safety sets us up just outside of the red zone. Now floating that one over the middle. Andrews comes down with that, and Albuquerque's going to have goal to go after just a single play. It does end up being 3rd down and goal now. Do we have to settle for another field goal? The answer will be yes, as that pressure forced the incomplete pass, and Brian Koch is going to nail his 3rd attempt of the game. With 1:20 left to go, Buffalo is looking to go downfield and put together a 2-minute drill. Pressured but still caught by Warble, he's going to cut that one upfield and move the chains as the Bills' offense is going to go up-tempo. Brooks looking to throw, launching that one downfield, and Bender comes down with the reception. Never let me use her as safety again. They're going to call a timeout now with 1 minute left to go. Brooks dropping back to throw as he was under center, fires that one over the middle, and Warble with another reception holds on to it after the big hit from Javon Anthony. Brooks firing that one to the left side now. That's going to be caught by LeBron Tripp. Touchdown, Buffalo Bills. That gives them the 5-point lead. Albuquerque's going to be getting the football to open up the 3rd quarter of play, but they're faced with an early 3rd down, and that overthrow means we're going to be going 3 and out. Buffalo has an opportunity to make this a 2-possession game now on this next drive, but the Vipers want to force a 3 and out of their own, and that's exactly what they're going to do there, just barely. Danny Bender, that will get him over the century mark, though. Nonetheless, it was 4th down in inches. Now off of the play fake, Orlando Cross surveys the field. He's got his tight end Vaughn Lewis there, picking up a quick 1st down and getting us some good breathing room after a solid punt pinned us inside of the 20-yard line. And now Craig Roberts loses the football again. He has 2 carries in this afternoon's game, and he lost both of them. I have a feeling he's going to be in the doghouse. Brooks had time, but eventually it ran out. He could not make a decision, and Chris Diggs, the rookie, comes up with a big play. Brooks going down again. Albuquerque just sending heat, and the rookie unsure where to go with the ball. Trying to prey on this young, unprepared player, and that's almost another sack, but hey, we'll take the incomplete pass. 4th down and 29. Jermaine Hawkins, another rookie kicker here, a rookie for Buffalo. He's actually been pretty good so far this season, and he nails that kick. 8-point game now in favor of the Bills. Harold White on the kick return. He's going to lose the football now, and Buffalo has another fumble going their way. That is 3 lost fumbles from Albuquerque, and Harold White, our great return man, is going to be out of the game for at least now. The ball is on the ground for Buffalo, but of course they're able to jump on top of it. 3rd down and short. They're going to run it with Henley, but Daryl Fannin denies him at the line of scrimmage, forcing Buffalo to settle for another field goal, this run from 32 yards out. 2-possession game now in favor of the Bills. We've got to get into the end zone. We can't keep settling for field goals. Up top for Floyd, already getting us onto the Bills side of the field. Great play there by the veteran. Faced with a 3rd down and 10 now. They got some quarterback contain out here. Cross is going to let this one fly to the right side of the field. It's going to be caught, but out of bounds by Jimmy Andrews. And that's going to result in a 59-yard field goal attempt from Brian Koch, which he barely got over the crossbar. That's going to make it an 8-point game yet again. LeBron Tripp on the reception right here makes it 3rd down and short. Draw play here for Henley, and he's going to get just enough to keep this Bills drive going. That's going to take us into the fourth quarter of play. Henley loses the football, and finally the Vipers have a fumble going their way on the play. Kerry Little, one of the highest rated players on this Bills team actually. The tight end has yet to get a target, and he's a little bit shaken up after making the tackle on the play. Now Cross wants to go to the end zone, and that's going to be Von Lewis's first score of the season. It took all year, but he is finally in the end zone, and this game is all knotted up at 20 apiece. Henley on the carry, picks up 6. They're going to give it to him again, pulls out the stiff arm, does it again, running with power and moving the sticks. Only one running back in the backfield, and Henley's going to stay in the block. Pump faking now. Brooks has all day in the pocket. To the left side there, he's got Warble, and that's going to pick up a good gain as there was absolutely no pressure from Albuquerque there. Anderson's going to get the carry, and that's going to pick up a Buffalo first down as the Bills are looking to recapture their lead. Quick throw is going to be caught by Tripp. He just mossed our guy Justin Williams, and he is going to take that one the distance. Touchdown, Buffalo Bills. What an insane catch there, and that is the definition of mossing someone. Williams thought he had a chance at the pick, but no. That's going to give the Bills the 7-point lead yet again, and Cross unable to make a decision, and that's going to result in a sack. 10-yard loss on the play, 2nd down and 20. Cross over the middle, he's got Brian Moore, and that's going to make this 3rd down a little bit easier, but we still have 14 yards to go. Letting it fly, looking for Andrews, and it's going to be right off of his hands. The inconsistent wideout strikes again. And now Buffalo has a chance to maybe even put the nail in the coffin on this drive, although Brooks is lucky that that one was not ruled a fumble. 2nd down and 10 now. Brooks has all day to throw. Fires that one for Kerry Little. His first target is going to be caught out of bounds. Brooks has completed 50% of his passes today, but he has been picked off twice. And on 3rd down, he's going to give it to the fullback. He actually got close to that 1st down marker, but 2 yards short. That means Albuquerque and Orlando Cross have a chance to go downfield and tie this game up. Jimmy Andrews does come down with that reception, getting Albuquerque across midfield. Under 3 minutes left to play, Ryan Franks is in the ball game, and his first carry is going to pick up 4. Now Cross under center looking to throw, and he's got a wide open Von Lewis. His fingerprints has been all over this afternoon's ball game, but now Orlando Cross is limping off of the field, something that seems to happen quite frequently, especially if you know about the curse of the Buffalo Bills. It seems as though every time we play them, he suffers some kind of an injury. That means Anthony McGuire is in the game. He's actually filled in nicely for Orlando Cross throughout this season, but he does have a much smaller vision cone. That's why they have been just running the football all drive right here ever since Cross had to leave, but now on 2nd down and 7, they're looking to throw. Time is starting to run out, but he's got Darius Floyd, cuts it upfield for 6. What a route by the veteran, and a great throw there by the backup quarterback to force overtime. Albuquerque is the visiting team, meaning they get to choose. They're going to go with tails. Tails never fails. They're going to choose to receive. And of course, these are old overtime rules. It is sudden death. All we need is field goal range. Deron Daniels with a good start to overtime there, picking up a quick 1st down. Continue to go on the ground now, and Daniels has a lot of open space. Breaks this one out to the left side into Bills territory. And if you haven't already noticed, that is Orlando Cross under center, quickly back in this game, getting it out to Brian Moore, and that's going to get us on the outskirts of field goal range for Brian Koch. Daniels stiff arms the first man, breaks the 2nd tackle, and has the 1st down into field goal range. Koch has only missed 1 kick this season. It was in overtime against San Francisco. He's not going to miss this one, though, as Albuquerque goes into Buffalo and gets the overtime victory, 30-27. Great way to bounce back after losing to a 1-win team a week ago. Orlando Cross played a great game, 229 yards and a touchdown. Antonio McGuire also played good when he had to fill in. The completion percentage was a little low, but other than that, great job there by the franchise quarterback. 93 rushing yards for Deron Daniels, and Craig Roberts, no yards on 2 carries and 2 fumbles. Yeah, I think we might be seeing a little bit more of Ryan Franks in the next few games. Almost 100 yards and a touchdown there for Von Lewis, and of course Darius Floyd with the score to force overtime. Justin Williams led us in tackles there, as you can see. We had plenty of sacks on the day and also 2 interceptions. And you can't forget about Koch going 5 for 5. Looking at some other big games in Week 14, the Green Bay Packers, who are looking to get the top seed in the NFC, fall to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, an old NFC Central foe. That's good news for Albuquerque, and now we've got some big developments over in the AFC playoff picture, with Baltimore taking down the former team that used to play in Baltimore. 3 interceptions for Aaron Rodgers. That could be costly for the Colts in a very stacked AFC, as we see the Houston Texans, defending Super Bowl champions, taking down the top-seeded, currently, New York Jets. That's now going to take us to our second game of the episode, and it's going to be our second matchup against the Arizona Cardinals, and the media is predicting an upset, and despite their poor record, it is not crazy for them to think that we always seem to struggle in the desert. Despite being 3-10, we have already had one close matchup against our former third-string quarterback, who's having a little bit of a rough season in his first year as a starter. He's going to get that one out to his fullback, Joe Hood, no gain on the play. Robert Gaynor, one of the best rookies in the league, 1,200 yards for the young man taken in the first round, and he is getting shifty right here, picking up a Cardinals first down. In the I formation, Drew Lloyd has time in the pocket, tries to stare down a receiver, switches off of him, and he's got Robert Gaynor getting busy in the receiving game too. Quick throw to the left side of the field is going to be caught. Connor Hawkins out near the 30. Only one running back in the backfield now, and it's going to be Gaynor. He's off to the races, now gets away from the first man, and Albuquerque finally wrestles him down at the 11. Now Lloyd looking for the end zone. He's going to step up into this throw, and somehow Melvin Wallace comes down with that one over our top cornerback, Darren Gordon, in single man coverage, just barely out of reach for the Pro Bowl corner. Now Albuquerque's going to be faced with a third down on their first drive of the game. It falls incomplete, so Arizona off to a phenomenal start in today's game. They would love to play spoiler against us, as we have high hopes in the playoffs and obviously Super Bowl aspirations. Lloyd fires that one to the left side, and you would know he would absolutely love to get some revenge against his former team. He's looking to throw on third down here, but Williams nearly came away with the interception, but I'll take the deflection on 3rd and 8. That's going to force an Arizona punt. Now Orlando Cross rolling to his right, looking downfield, hit as he lets the pass go, and Antoine Barney comes away with the interception. He wanted his fullback who was open downfield, but the pressure forced a bad throw, and Arizona has great field positioning that they're immediately going to lose. Dante Loynes, the veteran pass rusher, comes up with the fumble recovery, and it's almost like Albuquerque never had that interception. Into the flat now, Deron Daniels gets away from the first man, but now he coughs up the football. Big hit laid on him there. He got clotheslined, and we have so many turnovers going back and forth right now. Lloyd throwing that one into the flat. It's going to be caught by Damian Castle. The former Pro Bowl tight end picks up 9 yards on the play. As we take a look at the difference in yardage, and Arizona has been outgaining us all day. They're going backwards right here, though. 3rd down and 4. Lloyd's got time in the pocket, dumps it off over the middle for Melvin Wallace, and he gets just enough to move the chains. Firing this one to the end zone now, one-on-one coverage yet again, and it's going to be another Cardinals touchdown, 14-0 now as we enter the second quarter. Faced with yet another 3rd down. Pass out is going to be caught by Floyd. He gets tackled from behind, and it's going to be another Albuquerque 3 and out, meaning the Cardinals have a chance to go downfield and make this a 3-possession game in the first half. Lloyd stepping up right into pressure. He's going to be sacked on the play, and luckily we're going to be getting the football back. Our offense needs to start to do something because we cannot afford a loss to a poor Cardinals team. 3rd down and short. Von Lewis breaks out of a tackle, and he's going to keep this drive alive for Albuquerque. Carl Brown, who tried to make the tackle on the play there, is going to return to this game even with a broken thumb. On 3rd down, Orlando Cross looking to throw, can't make a decision downfield, which results in the incomplete pass. Arizona has the football back in their own possession again. Robert Gaynor's going to go up the gut, picking up 6. Now on 3rd down and 4, Lloyd has time, and he's got an open man downfield. Melvin Wallace gets the best of Darren Gordon. They're going to toss this play, and it's going to go down in the backfield. Chris Diggs just keeps getting better and better throughout his first season here in the NFL. Third down and long. They're going to go with a play fake. Over the middle, it's going to be intercepted by Mark Scott. Big play here by the veteran corner. He's just on a one-year deal here in Albuquerque, but he's been playing great. Cross is going to throw that one over the middle for Deron Daniels, as we are somehow already within 2 minutes of the 2-minute warning, or inside of the 2-minute warning, I should say, but we're finally going to get on the board with that Darius Floyd touchdown, making it a 7-point game. Albuquerque also gets the football to start off the second half, meaning we can go downfield and quickly tie this game up, and that's a good run by the former Clemson running back, picking up a quick first down, but now they're going to be faced with a 3rd down and 9. Quick throw over the middle, caught by Brian Moore. He gets hit hard over the middle, though. 4th down and 1, and we're going to punt the football away. Drew Lloyd, again, all day in the pocket. Not a whole lot of pass rush today from Albuquerque. Luckily, he is tackled shy of the sticks, so both teams go 3 and out to open up the third quarter. Down goes Orlando Cross on that play, though. He is going to be losing 10 yards right there. 3rd down and 20 now. Cross looking to throw for the conversion. Just going to air this one out to the right side of the field, and honestly, he's lucky it wasn't intercepted. Just would have been an arm punt, though, but I'll take a regular punt, plus it won't make his stats look quite as bad. Speaking of good-looking stats, though, for us, we get another sack on the play. That's going to lead to a 3rd down and 15. Lloyd gets that one out over the middle. I'm kind of surprised there was no flag for PI right there, but I'll take it. Ensuing Vipers drive now. Orlando Cross rolling to his right. He has had a tough time pulling the trigger in this contest. He's going to take off and run, though, diving for the first down. Offset I formation. We're going to give it to Ben Strong. The former Cardinals fullback is not going anywhere. Plus, there was holding on the play. That's going to make it 2nd down and 20 now. Cross is going to be flushed to his right. He wants to take off and run, falling forward as he gets tackled, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 14. Looking to throw yet again, doesn't want to pull the trigger, doesn't see anything that he likes downfield, and he's going to be sacked yet again. Already near the end of the third quarter, and Gainer's going to pick up 7 on the play. 3rd down and 3, and Gainer taken down in the backfield by Chris Diggs. Every time he makes a big play, I am just more and more happy with his selection in the first round. Good blocking here for Deron Daniels. He's going to break this one down the left sideline, stiff arms the safety, and he is gone. Albuquerque's going to finally tie up the game. It takes all the way until the 4th quarter, but they do it. 14 unanswered from the Vipers. How does Drew Lloyd and this Cardinals offense respond? Well, they're going to start with a Joe Hood give here. The fullback picks up a few yards, and Justin Williams, who brought him down on the play, is going to be out for the next 3 weeks. That is not something that you want to see. Now Lloyd, he's going to be sacked on 3rd down, and there was holding on the play. Of course, Coach Billick is going to decline the penalty. Ensuing Vipers drive now is going to start around midfield. Great field positioning, but now it's going to be 3rd down and 8. Quick throw is going to be caught by Brian Moore, but obviously 5 yards shy of that first down marker, meaning former Cardinals kicker Brian Koch is going to nail this 49-yarder. That's going to give the Vipers their first lead of the game. Does Arizona just let that happen to them? Yes, they do, as Mark Scott gets his 2nd interception of the afternoon. We can make this a 2-possession game now if we can punch this one into the end zone. Deron Daniels is going to fall forward there, picking up 6. 3rd down, looking to throw for it now. Cross, nobody open downfield, and he's going to be sacked yet again. This Cardinals defense just keeps getting to him. That's going to force us to settle for another Brian Koch field goal, this one from 52 yards out. Still a 1-possession game, and if Arizona can get into the end zone, they can recapture the lead. Robert Gainer not going to convert on 3rd down, and they're going to trust their defense one more time. Handoff to Deron Daniels, going right up the middle, gets across midfield and over the century mark. Nearly 7 yards a carry for our star running back now. Orlando Cross is going to float this one to the right side of the field. Andrews runs underneath it. Big play there for Albuquerque, and the Cardinals are going to use their 2nd timeout right there as Deron Daniels loses the football. A first down would have put this game away for Albuquerque, but instead, the Cardinals have one last opportunity. Lloyd moves around in the pocket, launches that one downfield, and Taylor nearly had an interception there. Now they're going to have to use their final timeout because the intended receiver, Junior Price, is shaken up on the play. A minute left to go and no timeouts. Chris Diggs leaving his mark on the game, getting his 2nd sack. Lloyd, as he hurries up to the line looking to throw in the face of pressure, is nearly intercepted. 4th down and 14, game on the line. It all comes down to this. Lloyd lets the pass go, nearly picked on the play. It's not going to matter though, because that is going to be a turnover on downs, and with no more timeouts, they are not going to be getting the football back. Albuquerque survives a second scare with Arizona this season. Cross played okay. He only had 88 passing yards, 1 touchdown, and then that not great interception right there. But they really contained our quarterback today. Luckily, Deron Daniels went off for 113 yards and a touchdown. He did fumble a couple times, but luckily we were able to recover one of those. Actually, no, we didn't. We actually lost both of those, really putting the game on the line now that I think about it. But luckily, he was still the MVP of this game, I would say, at least offensively. Defensively, Chris Diggs with 2 sacks and 2 tackles for loss. You love to see it. Plus 2 picks from Mark Scott. A few big games during Week 15 include the Miami Dolphins over the San Francisco 49ers. It looks like they will not be taking the division from us this season. You also have the Buffalo Bills taking down the Denver Broncos. The team that we beat a week ago got 2 pick sixes in the final minutes of the game to end up winning it. It was all tied up at 17, but then Morton threw a pick 6 to give them the lead, and then trying to tie the game, he throws another pick 6 to make it look like a lot more of a blowout. And it looks like the Seattle Seahawks will also not be returning to the Super Bowl this year, as they are only at 7-7. Speaking of the Seattle Seahawks, they are one of only 3 teams to have taken us down this season, and the newspaper is predicting another Seahawks win over us. They did blow us out earlier in the year, so I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, especially because this is going to be at their place. It's also Sunday Night Football for what, in my opinion, has become one of the best rivalries in the NFC. The Seahawks and the Vipers going back and forth, winning divisions and winning Super Bowls. Deron Daniels on a big run to the right side here. He's looking to take that all the way, but Peter Barton comes up with a big touchdown saving tackle. Still a big run there by Albuquerque. Quick throw is going to be caught by Darius Floyd, who gets taken down by the face mask, making it 2nd down and 1, and Norman Jenkins, the man yanking the face mask, is going to have to check out of the game. Deron Daniels gets just enough to pick up the 1st down right there. Looking to throw out of the I formation now. Cross wants to go to the end zone, but Andrews can't get both feet in bounds. Deron Daniels on the carry goes right up the gut, picking up 5 yards on the play there. Looking for the 3rd down conversion. We have not been great at converting 3rd downs inside of the red zone this season. Cross has all day to throw, looking to cook downfield, moving around in the pocket, throws that one on the move to fall incomplete, but there's a flag down on the play. They got pass interference on Darren Carrier, and it looks like Norman Jenkins has played his final snap of the 2020 season, as we're going to get into the end zone with a fullback, Ben Strong. Wayne Rivers has been struggling, which is a surprise considering he has taken the Seahawks to back-to-back Super Bowl appearances, including a win over the Bills 2 years ago. Richard Rodgers, in his first year in Seattle, has 1,300 yards and 9 touchdowns. He has coughed up the ball several times right now. He doesn't get the ball here. Instead, it goes to the fullback, Vondell Styles. Now they're going to give it to Rodgers, but Chris Diggs is all over him there, taking him down for a 1-yard loss. Rivers throws that one over the middle, and Mark Scott again with the interception. He has gotten several of these in just today's episode alone, which has propelled him into the Pro Bowl this season. He's a little shaken up on the play there, and now down goes Orlando Cross, who was sacked several times against Arizona, as you saw earlier. That's going to lead to a 3rd down and long. Looking for the conversion now. Cross throwing this one off his back foot downfield. Intercepted by Darren Carrier. Just throwing that one into a crowd. Thought he could give his man the jump ball there, but instead he's kicking himself after a costly interception. Rivers looking to throw on 3rd down now, but it's Chris Diggs, or actually I think that might have been Javon Anthony, batting it down at the line. Seattle goes 3 and out, which means it's back in the hands of Albuquerque, and now Brian Moore, the speedy receiver from Portland State, takes that one upfield near the 30. That's going to get us a fresh set of downs. Looking to go to the air now. Cross has got time in the pocket, into traffic. It's going to be caught, though, right on the money for Jimmy Andrews. Daniels is going to get the carry now right up the middle, and that's going to pick up 3 yards on the play, taking us into the 2nd quarter now as Seattle sent an all-out blitz. Cross got it out to Vaughn Lewis, but he couldn't hold on to it. That means it's going to be third down now, and this time the blitz is going to get home. Cross is going to be taken down, and Brian Koch is out here for his first field goal of the day, of which, of course, he nails. 10-point lead now for Albuquerque. Rivers is going to throw that one to the left side. He's got Reginald Jammer out at the 40. Albuquerque looking to force a punt now on third down. Airing this one out to the left side, and it's going to sail out of bounds. Looking for Jammer again, but it's going to be ruled incomplete, of course. Play fake now for Albuquerque. Cross looking downfield. He's got time, not a ton of pressure. Throws that one on the move, and Lawyer Dumas, the number 2 tight end, comes down with a nice reception. Another play fake here. Actually, no, this is not going to be a play fake. It looked like it might have been a rollout. Instead, Daniels picks up 4. Third down now. Cross is going to roll out to his right. Throw that one up top for Myers. It's going to be knocked away from him, though, and that's going to force another Albuquerque punt. Seattle still looking to get onto the board now. Richard Rodgers goes up the middle. The former Packers running back picks up 4. Third down and 6. Rivers steps up into the pocket. It's going to be knocked into the hands of Mark Scott, who is back in the game, and that is his second multi-interception game this video. He has a big return too, getting out near the red zone. A much-deserved Pro Bowl nod for the veteran cornerback this season. Now Cross is going to get this pass out to Darius Floyd, and that's going to make it 2nd down and 3. Looking to throw again. He's got time in the pocket until he runs out yet again. The vision cone really causing him to really think about where he's throwing it. Third down and 13 now. Cross looking for the conversion. He's just going to dump this one off to Deron Daniels. He's got plenty of open space and pushed out of bounds at the goal line. Inches away from Pater. Now we're going to give it to Daniels, and he's going to finish the job. Beautiful blocking as he gets in there untouched, giving the Vipers a 17-point lead, and it's not even halftime. Wayne Rivers and the Seahawks offense just demolished our defense earlier in the year, and they still have yet to get on the board, although the tight end Tavares Claybooks with a great play right there, and that means Rivers has as many completions to his own team as he does to Vipers cornerback Mark Scott. Third down and 10, he would love a completion right here. Surveying the field and taken down by Chris Diggs. Lucky it wasn't a sack or a fumble, but I'll still take the incomplete pass and a punt. Looking to extend our lead. Now Cross is letting this one fly deep downfield for Floyd, and he's got it at the 30. We can make this a 24-point game now before halftime. Cross taken down yet again, though. The Seahawks pressure has been coming in, and Holmberg really is one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. Off his back foot, that pass is going to be well incomplete, not even close to Burt Myers, meaning Koch is going to have to kick his second long field goal of the day, and he just sneaks that one in. 34 seconds left to go now as the Vipers have a 20-point lead. Reginald Jammer with some toe drag swag on the right sideline there picks up a quick first down as they're trying to get onto the board here before halftime, but instead it's going to be a third Wayne Rivers interception, getting him up to 18 on the year. Albuquerque wants to get the most off of the turnover and get this one into the end zone before halftime, and that's a good start as Darius Floyd gets us down to the 17. Cross looking to throw again. He's got time in the pocket all day to cook. Floats that one out to Vaughn Lewis, and the tight end brings it down inside of the 10. A touchdown here would be great, although I wouldn't complain about a field goal. Cross rolling to his left. He wants to take this one himself. Brought down at the goal line where they use their final timeout and keep the offense on the field. Going for the jugular. It's going to be knocked away, but with 1 second left, so they will have an opportunity to make it a 23-point ball game now at halftime. Utter dominance from Albuquerque. Luckily for the Seahawks, they do get the football to open up the second half of play, and they've got an open Brian Jackson downfield, one of the fastest receivers in the NFL. He absolutely annihilated us when we played earlier in the year, and we really had shut him down until that play, which finally got Seattle on the board and could spark a second half comeback. Nice reception made by Floyd there on third down. Daniels is going to get taken down. I thought he had an open running lane there. He awkwardly gets brought down in the backfield, though, meaning Seattle has the football going back their way, and they also have a lot of momentum going their way, too. Rodgers on the carry makes it third down and 2. They're going to fake the give to the fullback. Rodgers has it, but taken down in the backfield by Ralph. Big tackle for loss there. We have the football going back our way. Seattle's going to send a little bit of a blitz. We're going to get this pass out to Deron Daniels, running down that right sideline and pushed out of bounds at midfield. Give it to him on the ground game now, bouncing this one to the left side of the field. He's going to lose the football. Luckily, it falls out of bounds before Hakeem Warwick can scoop it up. On third down, we're going to dump this one off into the flat for the fullback, but Ben Strong cannot fight his way for that first down. Fourth down and inches, offense stays on the field. Fake the fullback give, and Deron Daniels has enough space to pick up the first down and keep this drive alive for the Vipers. He's going to remain in the game, stays in the block now. Cross has time in the pocket to throw, and a wide open Jimmy Andrews crossing over the middle gets us on the outskirts of the 20. Handoff to Craig Roberts now, his first carry since the Bills game where he fumbled twice. Luckily, he hangs on to that one. Third down and 6, quick throw is going to be caught. Floyd takes that one upfield inside of the 10. Goal to go now for Albuquerque. Cross looking for the end zone, and that's going to be a touchdown for the second-year tight end, Lawyer Dumas. It's a 23-point lead yet again. Rivers is going to connect with Brian Jackson yet again. Darren Gordon thought he could have had the interception on the play, but instead the speedy wide receiver keeps Seattle in the game. 2 catches for 163 yards is crazy. Now going for 2, kind of an awkward looking play, but it worked. That's going to make it a 15-point game now in the fourth quarter. Cross is going to connect with Darius Floyd on the right side there, making it third down and short. They're going to run commit, which means there's a wide open Darius Floyd downfield at the 50. That's going to keep this drive moving now for Albuquerque. Off of the play fake. Holmberg did not bite right there, and that's going to be his 3rd sack of the day. Seattle really trying to keep things interesting now. Handoff is going to go to Daniels. Some good blocking downfield, and you saw it, I saw it. He got taken down by the face mask. 2nd down and 7 now after the penalty. He's going to get a little bit of a breather, and it's the speedy running back Ryan Franks out of Nebraska picking up the first down. Giving it to him again, and he's going to fight off of a tackler, not known for his power, but he shows it off there. He's going to step out of bounds 2 yards shy of the first down marker, but Ben Strong is going to pick up the first down and a whole lot more. Now looking to go to the air now. Deron Daniels wide open in the flat, taking this one inside of the 10-yard line now where he gets pushed out of bounds. Give it to him again. He's going to go right up the middle for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. Just when Seattle looked like they were coming to life, Albuquerque stifled them away. Now on 4th down, they're going to be going for it and not going to be converting, as this Vipers defense has pretty much shut down this Seahawks offense. They would end up getting the football back, trying to make it look not as embarrassing here, especially on primetime football. And what a throw here by Wayne Rivers, getting it all the way downfield for Austin Dwight, coming down with a spectacular grab. Rivers off of the Hail Mary is now over 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, but of course he does have those 3 interceptions. Going for 2 yet again, but Daryl Fannin is not going to allow that to happen, meaning your final score here is going to be Vipers 37, Seahawks 21. It feels really good to take down a divisional foe, especially a good one that destroyed you earlier in the year, and we did it on primetime, showing the entire USA that the Vipers are for real. Deron Daniels with a good game. He had 2 touchdowns and 88 yards rushing. Darius Floyd with one of his best performances of the season, 140 yards for him, 62 receiving yards for Deron Daniels as well, showing everyone that as good as a running back he is, he's also a fantastic receiver out of the backfield. Chris Diggs with another couple TFLs and no sacks, but we did come away with 3 interceptions. The Vipers are heating up when it is most important now, as we are getting ready for the playoffs. Meanwhile, the New Orleans Saints are going to lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are just playing spoiler across the entire league. The Detroit Lions are going to take down the Green Bay Packers, who have lost 2 critical games recently. I don't know if they're going to be getting the 1 seed, especially with the Chicago Bears having a 1-game lead on them. Despite a little bit of a scare against Carolina, they did get the win. And that means that this game on Monday Night Football, Bears versus Vipers, is going to be for the top seed in the NFC. Some very high stakes in the final game of the year. Take a look at this. It's between us and the Bears for that 1 spot. Who, if the Bears win, they're going to be 12-4 and have that tiebreaker. Meanwhile, look at the AFC right now and how tight it is. All of these 10-win teams and potential 10-win teams with the Bills, Steelers, and Browns. There are going to be some good teams in the AFC that are going to be missing out. The Bears are losing their top 2 wide receivers for this game, as well as their number 2 running back, but they aren't really known for their offense anyway. Even in 15 years of Madden simming, the Bears still have yet to have a 4,000-yard passer, although missing Kurt Carter really does hurt because he was a key piece in their NFC Championship run a season ago. Tracy Smelly is back as the starting running back, nearly 1,600 yards for him and 11 scores. His first carry of the game is a pretty good one, gets away from the first man, brought down for a gain of 6. Now John Owens looking to throw, part of that same draft class as Orlando Cross, and that pass is going to be dropped by Andrew Castle, and that's what happens when you're missing your top 2 wide receivers. Quite poetic that this game is the final game of the season, considering all of the implications. You just gotta love when the schedule lines up like that. Good run by Deron Daniels is going to pick up a first down. Now Cross has got time in the pocket, but he's going to be intercepted on the play. Mark Carey with a phenomenal pick right there, trying to get it out to Lawyer Dumas. It looked like he had a step on him, and I don't even think that's really a bad throw by Cross. Just an incredible play there by the safety. That's going to give the Bears some great field positioning now, trying to set up the screen, but Daryl Fannon's going to stop the pass from even getting to him, and that's going to force a quick 3 and out, meaning the Bears do absolutely nothing with the turnover. Here goes Deron Daniels, stiff arms the first defender, caught from behind, but he does pick up a first down. A little bit of quarterback contain out there, but it doesn't matter. Darius Floyd is open downfield, and that's going to get us near the 40. Handoff to Deron Daniels, but immediately taken down in the backfield. This Bears defense is very lore accurate, one of the best in the league. Pass to the right side is going to be incomplete, trying to connect with the big Vaughn Lewis, but instead we're going to have to punt the football away. John Owens, a Bears quarterback wearing number 6 who went to Vanderbilt, drafted about 15 or so years ago now. He's looking to throw. This one is going to be sailing out of bounds though. That comes on 4th down, or actually 3rd down. It leads to 4th down and a Bears punt. Play action pass now. Cross has got time. Rolling to his right. Throws that one on the move, and he's got an open tight end downfield. Vaughn Lewis at the 40. Offset I formation, but the Vipers are looking to throw out of it, and maybe it should have been a run as Cross was taken down on the play by former Vipers defensive tackle Bernard Bailey. This is his 2nd season now with Chicago, and he's part of one of the best defenses in the NFL. Deron Daniels on the reception is going to make this 3rd down a whole lot easier as we're now into the 2nd quarter of play. Trying to connect with Burt Myers right there, but the former UDFA can't hold on to it, leading to another Vipers punt. But now we got an interception going our way. Roland Waters at the 7-yard line picks off the wide receiver screen, and Albuquerque's looking to get the most out of it. Brian Moore with a reception over the middle is going to make 2nd and goal a little bit closer, but the fullback dive is going to get blown up. 3rd down and goal now. Cross looking to throw. Would love to get this into the end zone. In and out of the hands of Vaughn Lewis, meaning the Vipers are just going to settle for a short 22-yard field goal. That does mean they do strike first, and this feels like it's going to be a very defensive battle. Smelly gets away from the initial contact, and the 2nd man finally brought down after a pickup of about 6 or 7, and Mark Scott, who has been the MVP of today's video, is shaken up. Officially a 6-yard gain on 1st down. It's going to be 2nd down and 4, and open downfield. He's got Paul Jackson into our side of the field now, and that is Todd Hester, nephew of former Bears great Devin Hester, giving up the big play. That's because Justin Williams has been out for the last few weeks after his injury, and they're really picking on the rookie. 3rd down and 4 now. Floating this one, and it's going to sail out of bounds. Also looked like a little bit of a miscommunication when the receiver cut back in for some reason. Didn't even try to go for the ball. Here goes Deron Daniels on the ensuing Vipers drive after a false start or maybe a hold. It was 2nd down or 1st down and long. It's now 2nd down and 11. Cross steps up into the pocket and taken down again. This Bears defense led by Michael Watkins, 99 overall, former New York Giant great. He's looking for a ring in the Windy City. Cross floating this one deep over the middle, looking for Brian Moore, just trying to do something on 3rd down and long. Instead, it's going to fall incomplete. The Bears face a 3rd down and 7 here at midfield. They're going to go with a halfback draw, but Tracy Smelly picks it up. John Owens looking to throw yet again. He's got time in the pocket, airs this one out to the left side of the field, and somehow the big tight end Dexter Adams, who's their highest rated receiver at this point, comes down with that one. That's going to get John Owens up to 3 of 13 passing, and now we're taking down Tracy Smelly in the backfield, but Daryl Fannin is going to have to check out of the game. Second down and goal now. They're going to give it to Smelly, taken down in the backfield in back-to-back plays, and luckily the superstar defensive tackle will return to the game shortly. Third down and goal now, looking to go to the end zone, nearly picked by Anthony, and that's going to force Chicago to settle for a short field goal of their own. All tied up at 3 apiece now. Final play before the 2-minute warning. Quick pass is going to be caught by the fullback Strong, and that's going to be a 4-yard gain. Looking to put together a 2-minute drill now. It's Lawyer Dumas over the middle, converting and getting us first down yardage. Cross has got time in the pocket over the middle. Jimmy Andrews with a 5-yard reception right there. Second down and 4 now into the flat. It's going to be caught by Deron Daniels, and he gets very close to that first down marker. They're going to give it to him. 1.5 minutes left to go now, as on the right side, wide open, it's Brian Moore down the sideline and steps out of bounds at the 20. Mark Casey, the safety who had an interception earlier in the game, is a little bit shaken up. It's 5 consecutive completions now for Orlando Cross. He's going to make it 6 now as Darius Floyd gets down to the 6. Goal to go. We would love to punch this one into the end zone. Daniels looks like he might have the angle, but taken down from behind. The clock continues to run. Cross wants to throw for it, looking for the corner, and they're going to say Andrews did not get both feet in bounds. That leads to third down and goal. Fullback dive, once again, denied at the goal line, meaning we're going to have to settle for a second short field goal. That's going to make it 6-3 now at halftime in this very defensive slugfest. Albuquerque has the opportunity now to go downfield and make it a 2-possession game if they can punch this one into the end zone, although points have been very hard to come by today. Fullback with the reception there picks up 7. Now to the ground game, it's Deron Daniels, and he gets tackled right over the first down marker. No, not quite. So on third down and inches, we're going to fake the fullback give, toss it out to Daniels, and he's going to move the chains. Cross looking to throw right now over the middle. Brian Moore looking to cut this one back upfield. He's going to pick up first down yardage, and Moore gets the Vipers out to midfield. Faced with a third down and 11 now. Cross going to get a wide open Jimmy Andrews right here. Sidearms it to him. He's going to stiff arm a man before getting pushed out of bounds at the 36. Looking to go to the air yet again, and wide open downfield. Lawyer Dumas to the races. He's a much quicker tight end, but still gets taken down from behind. Goal to go again. We've had to settle for 2 field goals in this situation. The Vipers would love to get this one into the end zone, but Cross is grabbing at his head there. Maybe a concussion on the play, meaning Antonio McGuire is in the game for third down. Rolling out to his right. He has no one to throw to, and wisely throws that one out of bounds. That means we're going to have to settle for yet another field goal for our man here, Brian Koch. Every time he had to kick, we were at goal to go. That means Chicago is very much alive and in this game, and the winner of this one might be the first team to get into the end zone. Pass is going to be caught downfield. Paul Jackson has done a good job stepping up for this wide receiver core today. Back to the ground game now with Tracy Smelly. Gets away from the first man, and a touchdown saving tackle there by our cornerback Darren Gordon, as now Jerry Gray is limping off of the field. We do get an update. Orlando Cross will be returning to the game shortly. Tracy Smelly right up the middle. That's going to take us to the fourth quarter now as we get an update on Jerry Gray, and he's going to be out for the remainder of tonight's game. Smelly taken down in the backfield there by Javon Anthony. That's going to make it third down and 5, and somehow downfield, Ron Abrams comes down with the reception, a 70-something overall receiver just beating our 95 overall corner. Third down and 5 now, going to the end zone, and it's going to be caught by Dexter Adams for 6, and that's where we really miss someone like Jerry Gray. Instead, the 4th-round rookie out of BYU, Mike Holliday, was in there. He had a great preseason, but he couldn't make a play when it mattered most. That's going to give the Bears their first lead of the game now. Deron Daniels on the carry is not quite going to get the first down. Third down and inches, and the fullback dive gets it, but Ben Strong limping off of the field, which has already happened to him several times this season. Cross is going to dump this one off into the flat for his tight end. Lewis picks up the first down and gets into Chicago territory. Now looking to throw again into the flat. It's going to be Deron Daniels picking up about 5 or 6 yards on the play right there. I'm very thankful that Orlando Cross is healthy for this drive right now, as that pass is going to be knocked away, looking for Brian Moore. 4th down, and the offense stays on the field, down by 1, going to that out route yet again, but this time it's going to be brought in. Vaughn Lewis with the clutch play. Less than 4 minutes left to go in the final game of the regular season, taking a shot to the end zone. He had a step, but Cross had to zing it to him because he was running out of real estate. Instead, it's going to be 2nd down. Daniels taking this one to the right side, and they make sure he does not move the chains. 3rd down and short. They're going to run commit. Cross is going to throw and miss 2 open man on the play. In fact, I think everyone was open right there, and it's almost like they were so open he didn't know what to do. We're going to be settling for a 4th Brian Koch field goal. Play fake now for Chicago, and wide open downfield. The Vipers defense bit hard, and Paul Jackson is going to take this one all the way. Mike Holliday is not going to catch him. The Bears have gotten into the end zone twice now. Going for 2, but that is not going to work. I'm not sure what kind of play that was. The Bears have a 4-point lead now in the 4th quarter. Orlando Cross finally letting that one go. He's got Brian Moore cutting that one upfield and steps out of bounds at the 40 with 2.5 minutes left to play. Giving it to the running back, and now Deron Daniels picks up 5, trying to keep the defense honest. Final play before the 2-minute warning. It's another run, and Deron Daniels is going to gash them right up the middle. 2 minutes left to go now, and a touchdown would give Albuquerque the lead. Cross floating that one to the right now. Up top for Darius Floyd. He's got it at the 15, maybe the biggest passing play of the day for Albuquerque. Draw play now for Deron Daniels, taken down at the line of scrimmage, plus there was holding on the left tackle Cobb. That's going to make it 1st down and 20 now. Cross just barely able to get that pass off and avoid the sack. 2nd down and 20. Chicago's going to send some heat. He had a man open. Cross starting to throw it, but instead he gets swarmed in the backfield. 3rd down and 28, and that pass is going to be incomplete, meaning the 1 seed on the line here. 4th down and 28. Cross steps up, lets this one fly to the end zone, looking for Andrews, and he can't hang on to it. In and out of his hands, and I think he would have had both feet in bounds if he was able to hold on to it. Luckily, the Vipers still have all 3 of their timeouts, but they cannot give up a Chicago 1st down. Smelly breaks out of there, gets out at the 40-yard line where they finally bring him down, but Albuquerque is all out of enough timeouts. They can't stop the clock, which means the Bears are going to be your top seed in the 2020 playoffs for the NFC. Albuquerque officially is going to be the 2 seed. Albuquerque had several trips into the red zone, yet none of them could be converted into touchdowns, as their only points of the game came by the leg of Brian Koch with 4 made field goals. The defense played pretty good. The run commit that gave up the big play, though, was killer and really cost us the game defensively. Our offense just has to convert better in the red zone, but can you beat yourself up too much, though, against the Bears, one of the best defenses in the league? I'm just really nervous now if we end up meeting them in the NFC Championship game that we might not be able to take them down, but we'll cross that bridge if we get there. Some other big results in Week 17. We saw how stacked the AFC was, and the Jets, all they had to do was win and get the top seed in the AFC. Instead, they lose at home to Miami, meaning I think the Dolphins are going to take that division. The Redskins, after a terrible start to the season, were in a win and in situation, and against the Bengals of all teams, they could only muster up 7 points. That means the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be winning the NFC East, or more like the NFC Least, as we'll take a look at the standings here in a little bit, as they take down the Seahawks here and make the playoffs. Green Bay loses another game. At one point, the favorites to be the 1 seed in the AFC just 4 weeks ago are more than likely going to have to be traveling on the road, as Houston is now an 11-win team. The Colts and Steelers are both going to be 10-win teams as Pittsburgh gets a big win right here, but we know that there's going to be some 10-win teams in the AFC who are not going to make the playoffs. Another big game, this was on Sunday Night Football. It's 2 more 10-win teams now in the AFC, although Kansas City has already won their division, but did the Bills do enough to get in? Here's an official look at the standings now. The Ravens take the AFC North. The Steelers and Browns each had 10-6 records, but it was not enough to make the playoffs. The Texans are going to take the AFC South. The Colts with a 10-6 record, led by an aging Aaron Rodgers, do not make the playoffs. It's the Jets and the Bills who get the 2 wildcard spots in that conference. The Dolphins do indeed get the 1 seed, and the Chiefs win the AFC West, 1 game ahead of the Raiders, who had their best season in decades. In the NFC, the Bears take the North and the 1 seed. Green Bay indeed gets a wild card spot. The Lions finish 7-9, Vikings 6-10. The Saints take the South, although they were supposed to be like a 13-win team this year. They really came back down to earth. The Falcons are your other wild card team. The Eagles barely winning the NFC least, the only team in that entire division with a winning record. And finally, in the West, of course, Albuquerque took it. I thought the Niners and Seahawks would really give us more competition for it, but they both finished about 500. Here's a look at the final stats across the league. Aaron Rodgers had the best quarterback rating. His replacement in Green Bay, Tavares Sparks, 3,800 yards passing was enough to lead the league in 2020, which is surprising. 35 touchdowns from Alex Malone. Sparks with 32, 30 for Rodgers. You also had Nate Thomas and Glenn Payton, 2 NFC or AFC North quarterbacks up there in passing touchdowns as well. Only 8 interceptions for Rodgers. Meanwhile, Andre Reed of the Chargers threw 32, 29 for James. Our former backup quarterback Ray Dawkins had 14 touchdowns to 24 interceptions. Drew Lloyd also a lot more interceptions than touchdowns. John Martin gets the rushing title with almost 2,000 yards on the ground, ahead of some other phenomenal running backs, but it's the Dolphins' Lamar Henderson who got into the end zone the most, 1 more score than the Texans running back Crawford. Most receptions goes to the Steelers tight end Dockett. It's Demetrius Buell, though, on the lowly 3-win New England Patriots, who leads the league in receiving yards. When it comes to receiving touchdowns, it goes to the Texans' Jason Ford, Bill Bowens, and Eddie Jackson. 2 Packers receivers are right behind him. Antonio Jones led the entire league in tackles with 158 of them. The Titans were phenomenal at the beginning of the year, really choked things away in the second half of the season. 12 TFLs for Daryl Fannin is enough to lead the league. Paul Holmberg, who got to cross 3 times in our latest meeting, had 16 sacks, and then Warwick on the Cardinals, also a phenomenal pass rusher for them. He is second in sacks with 15, and then it's a 4-way tie for the interception title. You had 4 guys with 7 picks. Looking at our team-specific stats, 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns to 15 interceptions for the former MVP Orlando Cross. We'll take a look at who won the MVP this season in a minute. He was also taken down 47 times, and Antonio McGuire was pretty solid when he got some playing time, but with that small vision cone, I don't know if he's really going to be the backup or not. We'll have to take a look in the offseason especially. Deron Daniels would have hit 1,000 yards for the 2nd consecutive season if he didn't miss the first 4 games of the year. Craig Roberts did a pretty solid job towards the beginning of the year filling in for him, but a lot of fumbles towards the end of the season meant he got a whole lot less playing time. Almost 100 yards for Orlando Cross and a rushing touchdown for him. Elijah Farr on 2 carries had 1 yard and a touchdown. Darius Floyd led us in pretty much every receiving category, 55 catches, almost 1,000 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Vaughn Lewis was one of his best seasons, although he only got into the end zone once. 9 touchdowns for Brian Moore, and Jimmy Andrews still unable to hit that 1,000-yard mark. Deron Daniels had over 200 yards receiving. How about 4 touchdowns for Lawyer Dumas, just stealing all those touchdowns from Vaughn Lewis. Craig Roberts had a receiving touchdown. Burt Myers only 5 catches this season for 45 yards. Ryan Franks even got into the end zone too, and then Tommy Wynn, the linebacker, came away with a 2-yard touchdown. Justin Williams led us in tackles. You don't love to see a DB up there, although I do think a lot of those do come on special teams, especially on kick returns and punt returns. Daryl Fannin obviously is going to lead us in TFLs. He does not lead us in sacks, though. It's the rookie out of Purdue, Chris Diggs, with 6. Daryl Fannin just really had a down season, which does seem to happen every once in a while to him, although sometimes he'll get 16, 17 sack seasons. Mark Scott with 6 interceptions. Of course, that's going to lead the team as they did a pretty good job picking off the quarterback. 3 forced fumbles from Chris Diggs as well. I'll be interested to see where he finishes in Defensive Rookie of the Year voting. He also recovered 2 fumbles, and then we had 3 other players recovering fumbles as well. 29 passes deflected from Justin Williams, 15 for Gordon, showing everybody why Williams deserved that contract that he got in the offseason. We also came away with 2 defensive touchdowns. One of those goes to Chris Diggs. And when it comes to catches allowed, Williams, even though he had the most passes deflected, also gave up 47 catches this season. Brian Koch, one of the best kicking seasons we've had. I think that might be the most field goals made in an entire season in a Vipers history, and just 1 kick away from perfection, and also 1 kick away from potentially being the top seed in the NFC. That 49ers loss really could be costly. And your 2020 MVP is going to go to Jason Crawford of the Houston Texans. 1,800 yards and 17 touchdowns for him. He finishes ahead of Henderson, Aaron Rodgers, John Brown, and rookie running back Kyle O'Donnell of the Baltimore Ravens. Crawford, much deserved. He actually ran for 2,200 yards a few years back now. Did not win the MVP this season. He was robbed. Houston also won the Defensive Player of the Year with Leon Dodson. Take a look at all those numbers he got, including 4 fumbles recovered, 6 forced fumbles. Of course, O'Donnell's going to win Rookie of the Year ahead of Gaynor, Jones, Taylor, and Gamble. Gamble, the only one not taken in the first round. Carolina may have went 3-13, but at least they have a young star in the makings with Keith Burns. You got Hayward finishing in second, and I don't see a single Vipers player here, specifically Chris Diggs. Chapman, I kind of feel like he deserved it though, because he did come away with 14 sacks for the Titans. Aaron Rodgers wins the Best Quarterback Award, which is the equivalent of First Team All-Pro. It's also going to go to a couple Texans here, including Jason Ford, Bill Bowens. And when it comes to the Best Offensive Line, we just had All-Pros across the entire thing. You'll love to see that. Best defensive lineman is going to go to the Jets here. Dodson finishes, of course, as the best linebacker. When you win best defensive player, that's what you're going to get. And then James Brooks on the Detroit Lions wins the best DB award. Of course, Brian Koch, only 1 miss throughout the entire season, is going to be your best kicker. And Coach Ron Rivera of the Chicago Bears gets the best coach award.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Chris Berman. Well, let's get straight to the action.
Here's a look at Wild Card Weekend. Of course, we had a first-round bye down in Houston. It came to overtime. Shannon Pleasant against a former team that he played for. He cannot get his revenge, though, as Houston puts together the fourth-quarter comeback and then a field goal to win the game and advance, looking for their 3rd straight Super Bowl berth. You have the Atlanta Falcons and New Orleans Saints. They split the series throughout the regular season, but it's the Saints who get the last laugh, picking off Anthony McCollum 3 times in this game and shutting out the Falcons offense. The Jets losing in Week 17 means they don't get a first-round bye. Instead, they have to go on the road, and they lose by 1 point to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Jets have had some phenomenal regular seasons in recent memory. In fact, they got a first-round bye a year ago in the AFC playoffs, but it was not enough for them, as they are now 0-2 in the playoffs the last 2 seasons. And finally, in Wild Card Weekend, the Eagles may have gotten to host, but they were definitely the worst team against the Green Bay Packers, who end up winning a low-scoring game here, 17-13. Tavares Sparks didn't play great. The rushing numbers, not great for either team as well, and they might be the 2 worst teams in the playoffs right now. Obviously, I guess the Falcons did get shut out. Maybe Green Bay's the worst team remaining now in the entire playoffs, though. But we're going to have to take a look during the divisional round. It's going to be Chiefs at Dolphins, Bears at Packers for the 3rd time this season, Texans at Ravens, and the Vipers get to host the New Orleans Saints, a team that they have already taken down once this year. You're not going to want to miss this rematch. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leaving a like is always appreciated. And until next time, this has been Jeffrey.